Hello students, today we will learn about hybrid vehicles. So we have already discussed that electric vehicles are of two types, that is battery charged vehicles and then it is hybrid vehicles or hybrid plug-ins. Okay, so electrical vehicles. So these are also called as hybrid electric vehicles. So now, what is a hybrid electric vehicle? So hybrid electrical vehicle has two types of energy storage units, that is electricity and fuel. So hybrid electric vehicle is a combination of two types of energy storage. Has two types of energy storage units. So in IC engines, we are using only fuels, and in electric vehicles, we are using only electricity for the production of power. But in these vehicles, that is the hybrid vehicles, we are using both electricity and fuel for vehicle propulsion. So here electricity means that there is a battery that is used to store the energy. So two storage units. So electricity is stored in the battery. There is a battery to store the energy. Then an electric motor, we will call it simply as a motor, will be used as a traction motor. Okay, an electromotor will be used traction motor. So traction means drawing or pulling something over a surface, especially a road. That is, traction is nothing but which will help to move the vehicle. So here electric motor is used as the traction or a means for pulling the vehicle. So here we can see in this figure a hybrid system. So what are the components of a hybrid system we can see here. So there is an engine. Okay, so this is the engine and there is a motor, there is a generator, and you can see there is a battery here and the brake control system and brake actuators. Okay, all those components which are necessary for a vehicle to move along with the additional components, that is the battery, the motor, the generator, which are required for the electricity purposes, are also installed in this hybrid vehicles. So now I have discussed about the storage unit electricity. Now we will discuss about the fuel. So fuel means that a tank is required to fill the tank with the fuel, and that an internal combustion engine. Okay, so here we can see there is an engine. So fuel means that a tank is required and that an internal combustion engine is used to generate mechanical power. So power is required for propulsion of a vehicle, for the movement of the vehicle. So that is generated with the help of this internal combustion engine. Or we can use a fuel cell will be used convert. So fuel cell can be used to convert the mechanical energy or the fuel into electrical energy. Mechanical energy, that is the fuel into electrical energy. So, depending upon the drivetrain structure, that is how the motor and the engine are connected. So, let us first understand that when I say motor, you have to understand that it is something which is giving the electricity or the electrical energy. And when I say the engine, you have to consider it as the fuel. So, hybrid vehicles are combination of both electricity and fuel. So, depending on how this motor and the engine are connected, we can distinguish them, that is the hybrid vehicles, as parallel, series, or combined hybrid vehicles. So depending on the drivetrain structure, that is drivetrain structure here means how motor and engine are connected. This is called as the drivetrain. Okay. So we can distinguish them, that is the hybrid vehicles, as series hybrid vehicles, parallel hybrid vehicles, or the third one is the combined hybrid vehicles. So these are the important type of hybrid vehicles. So motors are the workhorses of the hybrid electric vehicle drive systems. So here motors, that is nothing but the electricity driving part, are the workhorses. They are called as the workhorses of hybrid electric vehicles. So this electric traction motor will drive the wheels of the vehicle. Why they are called as the workhorses? Because the electric traction motors will drive the wheels of the vehicle. So in traditional vehicle, the engine must wrap up before the full torque can be produced. Here, an electric motor will provide the full torque at high speeds. So, in usually the vehicles which are driven on fuels, what happens? The engine must ramp up, or it must start up before the full torque can be developed. But here, in these hybrid vehicles, this electric motor will provide full torque at low speeds. So electric motor will provide full torque at low speeds. So this motor also has low noise and high efficiency. Electric motor also has low noise and high speed or high efficiency. So there are other advantages of the motor as well. So the other advantages of this electric motor are that it has good drive control, good drive control, good fault tolerance, and flexibility in relation to voltage fluctuation. Okay, so it will provide so many advantages. So the main advantage of this electromotor is the possibility to function as a generator. So this motor can also function as a generator. So the main advantage of this electromotor is the possibility to function as a generator. And also accessories like power steering and air condition air conditioning are powered by electric motors instead of being attached to the combustion engine. So here see so many advantages of using these electric motors. So usually accessories like the power steering and air conditioning are usually attached to the combustion chamber, but when you use these electric motor it can help them to function and it will provide the necessary power. Are powered by the electric motor instead of being attached to the combustion engine. So what is the advantages of this, that is the accessories being attached to the motor? So the advantage is that the efficiency gains as the accessories can run at constant speed or can be switched off regardless of how fast the combustion engine is running. So we can see that the accessories can be switched off whenever we want to switch them off, irrespective of how fast the engine is running. And also the accessories will run at a constant speed. So especially in long haul trucks, electric power steering saves a lot of energy. So it will save the energy. So attaching the accessories like power steering and air condition, when they are attached to the electric motors, it will save energy. The accessories can run at a constant speed or can be switched off regardless of how fast the engine is running. Now we will discuss the types of hybrid vehicles. So based on the drivetrain structure, they are classified into three types. So based on the drivetrain structure, that is how the motor and the engine are connected, they are classified as series hybrid vehicles, then parallel hybrid vehicles, and the third one is the combined, or we can say series bar parallel hybrid vehicle. Now, depending on the share of electromotor to the transaction or traction power. So based on the share of electromotor. So how much the electromotor is used for the traction power to generate the traction power. They are classified as mild or micro hybrid. First one is the mild or micro hybrid vehicle. The second is the power assist hybrid. Then the third one is the full hybrid. The fourth is the plug-in hybrid. So these are the different types of hybrid vehicles. So now we will discuss the important form, that is the based on the drivetrain how these vehicles are classified. That is the type of hybrid vehicles. We will discuss the series, parallel and combination of series and parallel vehicles. So under normal driving condition, the engine power is divided by the power split device. So here this circle is the power split device which we have already seen in the first figure. So what does this do? It will divide the engine power. So the engine will produce some power which is divided by this power split device. So some of the power will turn the generator. So some of the power which is got from the engine and splitted by this power split device will turn the generator, which in turn will drive the motor. So this generator will drive the motor. Then the rest of the power drives the wheels directly. So here we can see A, B and C. So first is the, so A is referring to the electric motor and B is the, sorry, A is, B is referring to the motor, electric motor which is driven by the generator. Then the rest of the power, that is the wheels, are driven by the power of the engine. So half power is used to run the generator, half power is directly used to run the wheels. So the generator in turn will run the electric motor. So the power allocation is controlled to maximize the efficiency. So here engine power is divided by the power split device. So sum of the power turns the generator, which in turn drives the motor. So here motor is referred with the letter B. The rest of the power drives the wheels directly, that is C. So power allocation is controlled to maximize the efficiency. So we have seen at start to start and low and mid range speeds how the engine is working, at normal driving condition how it is working. Then we will see how the engine is working at sudden acceleration. So how the engine is working at sudden acceleration. So this is the figure 3, which is showing how the engine works at sudden acceleration. So when there is sudden acceleration, then extra power is supplied from the battery, which is given as A. While the engine and high output motor provides smooth response for improved acceleration characteristic. So what happens when there is sudden acceleration, then extra power which is required is supplied by the battery. So extra power is supplied from the battery A, while the engine, that is engine is B, and the high output motor, that is C. So engine is B, that is B plus C provide smooth response for improved acceleration characteristics. So when the engine is decelerating or braking, so what happens? Deceleration and brake. When you provide a brake and when the engine is slowing down, then what happens is the high output motor acts as high output generator. So what happens at this stage? So this is the fourth, that is deceleration and brake. So what happens is this electric motor will act as high output generator, which is driven by the vehicle's wheels. So this regenerative braking system will recover the kinetic energy as electric energy, and that energy will be stored in a high performance battery. So during deceleration and braking, there will be energy which is recovered by this generator, and it will be stored in the battery. So the high output motor acts as high output generator driven by the vehicle's wheels. So this regenerative braking system recovers kinetic energy. So the kinetic energy of the moving vehicle will be recovered as electrical energy because of braking, and this energy will be which is stored in high performance battery. The next part or the next function is battery recharge. So how does the engine work when battery is being recharged? So the battery level is maintained or managed to maintain sufficient reserves. So battery level has to be managed to maintain sufficient reserves. So the engine drives the generator to recharge the battery when necessary. So battery, why battery is required? So battery is required for sufficient reserve. So it is a form of a reserve fuel which is present at some crisis conditions. So the engine drives the generator to recharge the battery when necessary. Then at rest. So at rest, the engine will stop automatically. So here a 1.5-liter engine is used which achieves high efficiency by using the Atkinson cycle as one of the most heat efficient high expansion ratio cycles. So this engine, as I have already told you, it uses, so engine is 1.5 liter high efficiency and uses Atkinson's cycle which is most heat efficient high expansion ratio cycles. So because the expansion ratio is increased by reducing the volume of combustion chamber, the chamber is evacuated only after the expansion force has sufficiently fallen. So expansion ratio can be increased by reducing the volume of the combustion chamber. So expansion ratio can be increased by reducing the volume of combustion chamber. So that is why what they have done here is they have evacuated the chamber only after the expansion force has sufficiently fallen. So this engine can extract all of the explosion energy. So this engine can extract all of the explosion energy. So usage of this type of engine when synergically works with motor output achieves high efficiency operation. So when this engine is combined with a electric motor, it will achieve high efficiency operation. Combined with motor achieves high efficiency operation. So it also has comfortable cruising through the synergistic effect of high torque motor output. So this is all about the working of hybrid vehicles. So we have seen at different phases of the movement of a vehicle how the engine and the motor are responding. So this is how the Toyota hybrid system is working. So I hope you have understood the topic.